All right, so post-edit Thorn here. That review was done a couple days ago. I want everybody who watches this review and likes Alien 3 and is about to comment, you should have watched the assembly cut. You should have watched the special edition. I didn't know that one existed when I watched this. I didn't know that there was a superior version when I watched this. So go into this knowing that I watched the theatrical cut, and like most humans who have seen this movie, saw the theatrical cut, and that's what I'm judging. Enjoy the review. I think this series just hit its first hiccup on this channel. What's going on, people? Alex Thorn here, and I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And this downtime is specifically interesting because there is a tornado warning where I'm at, and people are literally getting in their basements and there are trees falling around. So a lot is happening while Alien 3 is being reviewed. But beyond that, I am going on this Alien road, and I've watched with you guys, as you've watched with me, Alien 1, 2, and now 3 via live stream and watch along. And I definitely said that Alien 1 held up because of its importance. And I definitely said Alien 2 held up because, well, Aliens is an epic film that is going to survive forever. And I don't remember watching Alien 3 prior to this. I'm very familiar with Alien 3's imagery because as a child in 1993, I asked my mother to buy me 2 cool Alien toys. And those actual Alien toys are back out now under NECA as Target exclusives. And if I saw it, then my mother probably rented it and I was in the same room with her while I was playing with my WWF action figures, because I don't remember any part of this movie and I've never seen it since. In this entry, Ripley is the only survivor when she crash lands on F-161, a bleak wasteland inhabited by former inmates of a planet's maximum security prison. Once again, Ripley must face skepticism and the alien as it hunts down the prisoners and guards. Without weapons or modern technology of any kind, Ripley leads the men into battle against the terrifying creature. This movie starts out in a very similar fashion to Terminator Dark Fate, in that it kills all the characters you care about from the previous entry in the first scene. Hell, in the opening segment, like the opening credits. I'm kind of shocked that Sigourney Weaver signed back on for this. I saw as the movie was opening up in the credits that it said that she was a co-producer. I'm assuming that she asked for that to come back and they obliged. This movie's budget is bigger than 2 was, yet this movie feels significantly smaller. Newt, Hicks, and Bishop are all gone. And it is quite shocking, to be honest with you, if you go ahead and check out the live stream of Alien 3. By drowning, Newt passes away. Hicks was already injured previously, so he just, had barely any life left. And Bishop does make an appearance later on in this film as half the body and half the thing. I'm really glad that when he does make an appearance later on, they don't just take, the upper half of Lance Henriksen's self and just put him there like they did in the first one. And that makes it look really cool, as it should be, because he's an android. But I don't know, man, to get rid of everybody that you care about from the previous entry, which was huge, for this story, man. With a 2-hour runtime, this movie actually drops the body count into there pretty often. And if the first Alien was horror, sci-fi, and the second one was sci-fi action, This one kind of plays out more like a horror thriller, in my opinion. It introduces something that this series has never done before. And it actually kind of makes me fear for what may happen in the fourth entry, which is unanswered questions along with CGI. This particular alien mates with a dog. The other part that throws me off was a clear decision in the 90s that was made often about the future, which was that the future would be very, very copper and brown. Now, in my lives, I made mention that Alien 1 was a mixture of blue and occasional bronze. And it reminded me a lot of the bronze scenes, you know, structurally of Callisto Protocol. And 2 is pretty much entirely blue until a certain scene where they turn on red lights. This movie is entirely brown and copper. I mean, overly brown. And for me, I have an issue with that because we just came from a beautiful blue tone movie 7 years prior or so to this. This is just, it feels bland. It was a conscious design decision by somebody. And it just, for me, it doesn't work. We also go back to basics with this with one alien. This alien at one point proceeds to corner Ripley, smell her, which I've seen this picture in this scene a lot, and then backs off. I didn't get it when it first happened, but there are several scenes where Ripley is tired, where Ripley is exhausted, where Ripley doesn't feel good. After a CT scan, it is discovered that Ripley has a queen inside of her. And I don't know how I missed it in the movie, maybe because I was live and talking to you guys, but I don't know how that queen got in there. And this is where this movie leaves me very conflicted, and I can see why people don't really talk about this movie much, is I'm mentioning all these little things, but this movie does not feel like a full-blown Alien sequel. It doesn't feel like it deserved to be an Alien sequel. This movie reminded me of like a side quest book of aliens that you would read, a novel. And I feel like that's what this movie is, because it never to me really feels like this belongs there. But it doesn't feel like this should be an Alien sequel. Speaking of Alien, the dog alien that is featured in this movie acts very differently, because it doesn't just kill somebody, it actually mauls them like a dog would. And when they're using the practical effect version of this alien, it works. But when they start to use the CGI, which is heavy in the third act of this film, there's one little part in the second act where they use it, and I was hoping to God that would be the only part. But man, when they use it more, there's a plan towards the end of this movie to lure that alien to a certain spot so they can finally kill it. My God, it took me out so much, because that CGI alien, first of all, it looks poorly photoshopped into it. It's 1993. I get it. But if it looks like that, maybe you shouldn't use it. And besides looking different from the practical alien, they have this notion that because it's CGI, we can show the whole thing in every frame. But every time we use the practical one, that'll be for the close-ups. But when you do that, that makes the alien look huge. But when you show the whole thing, it makes it look small. So I don't know what to think. Basically, what I'm saying to you is that this alien, this back to basics one alien instead of several, especially with a bigger budget, takes you out of the film. This film created a lot of questions for me, but the biggest question it created was, does it hold up? With Alien 3, I'm gonna give the acting 3 bandanas out of 5. In terms of effects, I'm gonna give it 2 bandanas out of 5. And as far as story goes, it is interesting. I will give it 3 bandanas out of 5. And when it comes to the question of does it hold up, I don't think it does. That is a very quick turnaround. That is a very different attitude that I had from Alien 1 and Aliens, the sequel in 1986. In 1993, this particularly feels like they rushed to make a film. I don't know why this film was made, but it doesn't feel like it deserves to be an Alien film. It feels like it should have been a novel, a comic book, a video game, but not a film you have to be careful on what you put after Aliens, because that movie was so, set the bar so high. To come to this bronze mess that creates more questions than giving you answers. And then in the end, ultimately destroys who you root for, not only in the opening sequence, but in the last sequence. I don't know what to expect from Alien Resurrection, and I'm actually a little worried to watch it. What about you? In 1993, did you watch Alien in the theaters? What is your first experience with it? Was it a rental, a DVD, the Blu-ray? Are you a fan? Do you think that this movie holds up? Let's talk about it below in the chat. Beyond all that, you know where else we can talk about things, and that's on this channel's membership. Plus and Ultimate. And when you join the Ultimate tier, not only do you get access to videos early, you get to request your own video reviews, you get access to exclusive live watch-alongs and exclusive live chat, but you also get your very own Thorn Theater membership card mailed out to you, laminated and all, just like the good old days. And if you don't want to go there, you can also do the Plus membership, where you can help shape the future of this channel through polls, behind the scenes photos, and exclusive shorts. And if you don't feel like committing to a membership, you can always leave a super chat, super thanks, or you can buy me a coffee. That's right. On Buy Me a Coffee, you have the opportunity to support creators just like myself directly, as well as leave me a note when you buy me a coffee, and I can respond to you in their latest update with my own video. If you're as cool as Viking Samurai, then you can go ahead and head to Buy Me a Coffee. I love coffee. I need coffee in my life. Right now, I'm on a 7-day fast of only coffee, tea, water. So if you want to help my fast, go ahead and head over to Buy Me a Coffee. Guys, I'm working on my new single. It's called She Owns the Night. It should be out very soon. I will update you guys. But beyond that, I gotta watch Alien Resurrection next Monday. You guys gotta reserve your tickets for Thorn Theater. And I gotta rock out, watch some movies, and review them for you.